I'm hoping more to try giving me some light from my filming while it's dark outside, rather than getting the festive spirit with some nice twinkly lights. To be honest, I'm not really feeling Christmas at all, and I feel a bit bar humbug. But that might be just the way I'm feeling because I've not been able to train very productively. So let's get this session underway, and then we'll have a quick chat about what's hopefully going to happen in the next few months and some early season goals. Hello team, welcome back. I've been a bit sparse on the videos lately and the recording of content. If you'd seen my last video, it was all about the comeback following repetitive and alternating injury and illness. And I'm still in that same space really, in recovering from illness. It's been 3 weeks now, and injury before that illness. So in total, the whole of October and November and the start of December have been a bit of a wipeout. So all I'm doing now is documenting the continued comeback, and I think it's going to take a while to get this out of my system. It must be some kind of virus. I'm not ill or poorly anymore, I'm just not feeling right. I'm just not feeling how I normally feel when it comes to training and effort. So really I'm taking it steady. I'm not really trying to attempt any efforts while the body's saying, I don't work very well at the moment, please don't hurt me. So today I'm going to document a session I'm doing on Zwift, which is another one of these sprint sessions in the workout series, Attacking Test, which is part of the Zwift base camp. Yeah, Zwift camp baseline. So structured session. Some all-out efforts on the sprint, but I don't have to do them all out because they're free ride, so I'll just take it steady. At least I'm doing something constructive, and in my head that helps me to think that I'm getting back where I need to be. Right, the workout's just starting. It's a nice gentle warm-up, so we'll just spin with the group and get the legs moving. For those of you sharp-eyed viewers amongst you, we'll see that my hat that I've got on, this old scrubby doesn't fit very well and looks a bit weird hat, is the part of the goodie bag from the 2009 National Duathlon Champs. And I think back then, 16 years ago, I was in the 40 to 45, not quite sure, might have been 45 to 49. Yeah, that was good time, a long time ago at Emberton Park, if anybody remembers that. And I actually bagged the bronze medal in the National Duathlon Champs while I was training for triathlon. So that relates a bit to what's coming up in March this year. Those of you who are long-time viewers of this channel will know that my goal this time last year was the National Duathlon Champs end of March, it's Alton Park, and it's the same this year. The National Standard Distance Duathlon Champs, which is draft, non-drafting. So it's standard distance, so it's a 10k run, 40k bike, non-drafting, and a good old TT bike, and then a 5k run to finish. And last year I managed to bag 4th place, which I was kind of not that happy with because I'd hoped to get on the podium, and my perception was the bike leg was a bit underperforming for me, but fair play, there were some monster bikers there as well. So that is my goal, which is 3 months away. And considering I've lost October and November and some of December already, it feels like I'm on the back foot to get into shape. Even though in the past I've got into shape pretty quickly, but I've never really experienced such a sustained period of illness and injury, sort of back to back, where I've lost such a lot of training. I don't know where that leaves me and whether or not I'm getting to good shape by the end of March. And to remember as well, not only the standard distance now National Duathlon Champs, this year we have the National Sprint Draft Legal Championships, which is right up my street. That's the same format where I got 4th in the European Championships in June earlier on this year. So that's road bike, draft legal, great fun racing. My only kind of worry bead is the fact that it's the 23rd of March. So not that it's a week before the standard distance, the fact that it's in Edinburgh on the 23rd of March, which could be the darkest depths of winter still. And I just hate the cold weather. I just hate racing in the cold. And the body just doesn't work well. I think it's an age thing. But those are two goals. I've not entered those events yet because I'm wary of just not being in good enough shape to do them. So time will tell. But they are still in my head as goals. I think it's achievable as long as I can pick up the pace and feel like I can throw in some effort into training and the body reacts well to that effort. At the moment it just doesn't react well when I try and do some little efforts. Yeah, so that's a really in-depth explanation of where I'm at the moment and where I would like to get to. If you're still watching, good skills. So to aid with the preparation, I've got the time trial bike back on the turbo, which actually feels really, really good. I've always liked the time trial setup, and it's nice to change the bike and have a bit of a different focus on the turbo. Right, so we're still warming up in this session, which is basically steady rides with some sprints and a few primers to begin with. And as you'll see, I switched the bike over, got the old time trial bike back on the turbo, which is quite good. Feels good. I like the time trial setup. I always have done. It's been a favourite of mine. So to get the specifics for the standard distance champs on the 30th of March, I need to really dial into this position because 40k on the Alton Park circuit, it's quite undulating. You really need to do a good, efficient ride, something I didn't do last time, and that means being comfortable in a time trial position and distributing the power in the most efficient way. I think last year I just redlined it up the hills, recovered as much as I could, and then another hill hit, so it was just like perpetual redline recover, which is never the most optimized way of riding your bike. Right, so that's the warm-up done basically on this session. We're in for free rides of a minute, so basically it's not really sprints, but it's all out effort for a minute with long recoveries. So all out effort for me has got to be controlled depending on how I feel. But that's just a session. As the warm-up's complete now, it's probably the best I've felt for a long time, but I'm mindful I don't want to go over the top and blow a gasket again. Favourite saying of mine now, isn't it, blowing a gasket? Do it quite regularly. But where are we then in terms of overall training for bike and run? Well, the last week, 10 days, I've had three strength and conditioning sessions, try and get the basics back there for that, introduce some running. So last week I managed a huge amount of 17k in distance with no effort whatsoever, just a few strides. This week I'm on target to probably hit around 20k in terms of volume, and probably no more efforts either. So we'll see how I feel on Sunday. I may do some like tempo efforts or some 30-second ramp ups, but I'm in that realm, aren't I, of really starting again, laying the groundwork of a few basic weeks. I'm mindful in 2 weeks today is the Christmas Castle 10k race I've mentioned on a previous video that I did last year. Cruised around in 38 minutes 7 seconds, feeling really, really good. This year, don't even know if I'm going to do it. I'll see how I feel on the day, I think. But if I can sort of cruise around in 40 minutes, 39 and a half minutes, then I'll be quite happy, because that then will give me the sense that I'll be able to get in better shape come March. And then of course I've got the Alsager 5 mile road race on the 4th of February, and that's another race I did last year and I was in great shape, running 29:52 and bagging a sub 18 minute 5k in the middle there somewhere. you could argue I was in the best shape in February, so maybe it's going to work out okay, and all these setbacks in October and December are going to hold me back. The body's going to recover, and oh, I've just got a free ride there. I should be going in an effort. Yeah, as I said, the body's going to recover. I'm going to get in shape and actually be in really good shape for end of March. Who knows, maybe it'll work out for the best. I've just got to keep my head in the game. Oh, yeah, I missed the start of that 1 minute effort, so I just kind of wound it up just around 250 watts. See how the legs felt. A bit fatigued because I did strength and conditioning yesterday, but overall there's a sense of some kind of normal feelings coming back, which is great. So I'm not going to overcook it today, hold back a bit and see if I can get a key session in on Sunday and record that. What does that mean in terms of key session? For me is normal as I do on a Sunday, some kind of bike run mix up, and I've done so much of that kind of work I can pretty much sense how well I'm going and how I feel from the sensations. So I'll probably look to some kind of tempo sweet spot efforts on the bike as a return to structured efforts on the bike, and then do like an acceleration run for 5k, and then do twice, maybe one run will be the 30-second effort with descending recoveries, and the other run will be an acceleration 5k, all done on feel really, with no set defined target pace, just to gauge how I'm feeling when I'm pushing the body a bit more. It feels like so long since I've engaged the power in the body and said, right, give me some speed here. It just feels like I've been hanging on. But if I can do that at a lower level to begin with and feel, yeah, the sensations are there, but let's not push it, then I know I've got time to build it up in March. I sound like I'm convincing myself, don't I? And I think having you guys out there on YouTube kind of helps me unravel my thoughts. I just feel for you guys is you have to listen to my ramblings, but it really does help. So yeah, please comment below if you think, what the heck are you talking about? Or hey, I feel where you're coming from, I've been there, I'm with you all the way. It'd be interesting to see what your feedback is, because right now my mind is, you know, I've got that little person on my shoulder saying, you've lost everything, you can't do it anymore. And I've always been like that, and invariably I've been able to do it again once I've recovered. It just feels like it's been such a long time since I've had this kind of setback. Right, I'm not going to drone on anymore. I'm going to get on with this session. So we've got 3 minutes kind of low end zone 2 now left, and then another 1 minute free ride, the free ride being 1 minute effort. I just had a thought. Yeah, strap in, I've had a thought. With that race in 2 weeks that I mentioned, the 10k, maybe it's a good idea to next week, not tomorrow but the week after, if the weather's okay, have a park run and see how the legs feel over 5k tempo. And if I can sort of run around 20 minutes without mashing the legs, then the 10k's on. That'd be a good measure, wouldn't it? And I've not filmed a park run for ages. I know there's loads of YouTubers doing park runs. I find them quite interesting, but I've just not fitted into my routine the park run dynamic on 9 o'clock on a Saturday, but I can do. So it might be worth doing my local park run in a week's time at the Whammy, and just see if I can just maintain tempo 4 minute per k and see how I feel. That would be a good test. Yeah, quite look forward to that. What do you guys reckon? Park run filmed, down and dirty. Will it be an easy tempo, or will it just be, oh my word, the legs won't work, I can't even hit 4 minutes per k? It's all relative, I know, but I've got a PB on that course of 18 minutes and 10 seconds. I can normally run about 19 and a half minutes as like a tempo run, so it'll be a good gauge. And I'm talking myself into it again, aren't I? But it's good to have these little plans and targets, I think, it really helps us keep motivated. I'll be interested to see what your thoughts are about the park run. Tell me, don't bother, you're a waster. Or get in there, you wuss, and have a go. Anyway, thanks for joining me on this little session. I think we're about to hit. Okay, here we go. A 1 minute effort. So, dial into the position. I've got to be aero, so I'm not going crazy here. What am I at? 260 watts. That feels comfortable. Well, comfortable after 10 seconds. But like I said, after doing the weights yesterday, I've been feeling quite fatigued today. But right now, I've got underlying muscle soreness, but I can also tell that the legs are doing okay on the bike. So we're maintaining 260, 265 watts, which is where I would like my FTP to be. And here we go. Whew. Yeah, kind of pulled the effort up a level, forced into doing it, and cleared the pipes out. But I don't think it's mashed the legs. And overall, yeah, I feel quite buoyed with this session so far. I'm sure that's just because I've got you guys on board with me. If you're still here watching, I think this is going to end up being a bit of a monologue video, which I don't like doing, but I'll see how much gets cut and edited before they end up being a 2-minute video in the end, with about 20 minutes recording to sift through of me waffling. So we're on a cool down now. The session will be done. I would say regular viewers that I've got now may not have been subscribed or even know the channel that exists a year ago. So I'll put up, hopefully on this side, the race from last year, the Castle Crimbo 10k. If it's on this side, sorry, but you know what I mean, it's going to be on one of them. So I'll put that video up there, have a look. It was one of the first videos that I recorded using the Insta360 of cut like POV in race footage, and I was just a smiley happy guy in that race because I was just able to run at a decent pace and enjoy it without hanging on for grim death. And yeah, good memories from that race, contrasting to how it feels at the moment. But again, I shouldn't focus on that, I should just focus on building up for the main targets, and I will do that. Right, I think it's time for me to sign off. Thanks for joining if you're still here, watching the fairy lights and a weird guy stripping off his cycling clothing as we do a Zwift session here in the garage. People walk past in front of me, but I don't know, for some reason I don't think the sound travels. Nobody tends to look in or say anything. Maybe they're too embarrassed to say, what is that weirdo doing? But I do like this setup in the garage. And now it's gone dark outside totally, I quite like the lights. I think I'll keep them all year round. Yeah, it's quite atmospheric. Let's do the small things to help us get through the training and build up our mental well-being. It's important. Right, I'm going to sign off now for sure. Out of waffle mode. See how much makes a cut. I appreciate you watching this. Please do feedback, because your comments motivate me and I learn from what you guys do. There's some really good content going out there, and I've got a good set of content creators that I subscribe to that, yeah, big respect to you guys who just keep churning out the races and the videos. Really impressive. And I always try and comment to help your channel, but also to express that it's good to watch. I think we all need that feedback. Right, I said I wouldn't waffle, and I am. So please watch again. see where we're going on this journey. Can I recover? Can I get back to where I was racing now I've turned 60? Or is that switch over to the next decade like a switch and the body can't do what it used to do a few months ago? We'll see. Thanks for watching. Remember, keep running, keep biking indoors or out, and then get those trainers on and run again. Catch you next time.